Hello. I believe this should be working now. If I unmute this, and then if I talk, it should dip the volume. Cool. Good. Sweet. Okay, here's what we're doing. We're going to build this thing from scratch, again. I have one completed up. Warning, I don't make content. I'm not like a YouTuber. I'm not going to edit this very heavily. This shit's going to be long, so sorry. There's a Gumroad link. You can download it if you want. I'm going to make... This version is not Gumroad friendly. It's got, some samples that I should not be giving away for free, and some, presets that I think I also paid for. So, not putting that one up. I'm going to make the free, if you have Ableton Suite, all-native version for you. It's going to sound slightly worse. But when you make it at home, if you follow along the tutorial, you can put in whatever samples and instruments you want. Put in Serum instead of, I'm going to use a lot of wavetable. So, yeah, cool. Let's get into it. It will be on Gumroad for pay what you want. Feel free to tip me. I'm not, I'm not a YouTuber. I'm not sponsored. This has no ads, so... If you do throw me some bones, it's going to end up in my gas tank or in my refrigerator. I am just a guy. I'm just some guy. Okay. First thing, you need a Midi track. Jesus Christ. Okay. God. Next thing you're going to add in is an instrument rack. So you put in an instrument rack. You create a chain. We're big on labeling on this one because it's going to get hairy real fast if you don't start labeling. I'm usually not much of a labeler, but on this one, do it. Kick. Okay, so this is the kick instrument. What are you going to put in there? I'm going to put in an operator. And here's, if you've never taken any synthesis courses on how to synthesize drums, leave it as a sine wave. Do this shape. Shit. How do I do this now? Wait, no, that's the wrong one. Hello? I fucked everything all up. This audio routing's really kicking my ass. If I do this. Okay, there we go. Great. Perfect. This is going to be full of shit like that, by the way. I'm not editing it out. I'm not. So, just deal with it. Here we go. So, great. That sounds like shit. Click fixed. Bring it on down. A kick is around between 35 and 65 hertz. So, I usually cut the middleman, do 46. Super subby. It's usually, it's not usually anything. It can be super, super short, really long. Click this guy to give it a pitch envelope. And then make that a little more pronounced by changing where the peak's at. Maybe not that pronounced. Maybe 24. And then how fast that happens is here. And then you can also take the initial and pull that up a little bit. Or you can do some shit like this. Let's see if that gets you anything. It's not hitting very loud, so just take the volume. That's resonating a little too much for me, so I'm going to pull that decay back. It's also a little high for me. Pull that down a bit. Yeah, and maybe pull that peak down a bit. Yeah, there we go. Getting somewhere. Okay, cool. So that's a kick. The reason I'm using an operator is because there's lots of parameters in this that you can fuck around with a knob, right? You can change these things dynamically, and that means it's things you can randomize, and so you'll get different kicks every time. We're not done though. Change this algorithm to this so that it's not doing FM, it's just doing 4 separate oscillators. You're gonna wanna do this one a little bit of white noise, or that looped noise if you want it to be consistent. So that's just pick your poison. And straight up, not much. That sounds pretty good. And I'm talking real quiet. And then also get that short. Yeah, that sounds pretty good to me. Okay, and so then the trick to making that fat as hell is very straightforward. No, inside the rack. Make sure this is inside the rack. God, my computer's slow right now. Good Lord. It's probably because I'm recording. I don't record much. You click soft clipper on, and then you just push the makeup until it's clipping. And now that's a fat as hell snare. Kick, rather. See, like that, me calling it a snare, staying in, not cutting it out. Okay, great, you have a kick. Wonderful. So now you're going to take this. We're inside an instrument rack. You're going to want to put it in another instrument rack, like, immediately. So let's do that. Control G. And that's just so we have some freedom to move around later. So when you hit play, you're just going to want it to start doing stuff. And for me, I wanted to just do a 4 on the floor. And I found that the easiest way to do that was with a Max for Live device that you've probably been ignoring. It's pretty dope. It is called Melodic Steps. It's in here somewhere. It's stock, so you should just have it. If you don't have it, I guess I'll find it in the Max for Live store and like link to it, but you should have Melodic Steps like as just part of Ableton, I think. Somebody check me on that. Alrighty. So here you go. It's loading. Jesus Christ. It's taking forever. So it does all this crazy shit. Like, it's super random. I didn't want that. If you want that, if you're like a Ned Rush type dude, hold on, let me limit this. It's clipping like a motherfucker. Do-do-do. Limiter. Simple as that, folks. Hey, look at that. It's a mastering chain. I'm a genius. Yeah, if you don't want it to be all random and crazy like this, which can be cool sometimes, so remember that this exists. It's pretty sick. Just move all these down to 2. Click the X on all of them, which will zero them out. The only one you care about is chance. You want it to be 4 long, because it's 4 on the floor. You want to bring the chance of all of the steps down to 0, except for the first one, which you want to be 100%. Now you got a 4 on the floor. Bam. That's going to be the basis of how we do all of the patterns, and this is going to be melodic step patterns. As you can probably see, like, how we could shift this over to being here, and it's an upbeat hi-hat. We could do these 3, and it's the hi-hat pattern. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if we move the chance around, you get like slightly different hi-hat patterns. You know what I'm saying? So there you go. That's the basis of that. Great. So we're gonna open our first macro, and we're gonna get a little sneak preview of like how we're doing this. So here you go. Let's just map a macro to like, let's just say the decay of this real quick. This decay. Map it to here. Huh? Oh, right. No, we can't because it's locked inside. So hold on. This is an interesting thing that you need to be aware of. You can't map macros outside of a group unless you already mapped them outside of the group and then grouped it. So like the order that you group things in is important, which I think is dumb, and I think Ableton should fix that, but I forgot about that. So we'll loop back to the thing I was going to do later, but here's the thing. You're going to take this, you're going to take the decay, you're going to map it to here. Great. But it's way too much. Like, if I hit random now, it's just, like, going all over the place. It's too much for me. So I want... So yeah, I did it again. I did it all again by clicking stop. This is a nightmare. I got like 3 channels recording. I'm dropping the audio in with DaVinci Resolve later while I'm like screen recording. Fuck OBS. I'm not doing all that routing and shit. Okay. I'm also a little drunk. Okay. So I don't want this range to be between like a millisecond and 60 seconds. That's absurd. So I click the map again. It gives me all my mapping options. I'm just going to go down to like, I don't really want this to be much longer ever than like, I guess 800 is like pretty good. And I don't want it to be smaller really than 250. That's like pretty tight. So that's what I'll make the range, and that's what it'll stay between. So maximum will be 800 milliseconds, minimum 267. So when I randomize that, that's what it'll do. Cool. So if great. And I could also, let's say, like map another thing. I can map the frequency to here. And then again, if I don't mess with the range, this is what happens. Which sucks. So I have to bring it like, kicks are usually between 35 hertz and like 65, 70 hertz maybe. So that's my range now. Milliseconds, what the hell? Oh, god damn it. Read your labels. Okay, great. So like, there you go. Now when I click randomize, it's going to change like the decay of the kick and the tone pitch of the kick, which is pretty cool. Another thing that can add a lot of character to the kick is this air amount. Like if you disable this, very different kick than this, which is also very different kick than like that or something, which is also very different kick than this. Like, you can basically, what I'm trying to get across here is you can infinitely assign shit to the macros, except no, you can't because you're limited to 16. I'll show you a way around that later. But that's the basis. We have a kick. It's randomizing. When you click random, it randomly makes you a new and different kick. So what I did also on top of that was like within here, I then made a group. So you can do this now. This is what's messed up. This is what I don't like about Ableton. Is now you can do this, and it will carry the mappings over to here. Which I'm like, why not just let me do that? But anyway. And now I can make a macro in here. That's like for selecting the top end that I want on it. So how I'm going to do that is by making a new chain. So this is the operator chain. We're going to make another chain. So just think about it like this one kick layer now has two things going on. And in this one, we're just going to add in like a drum rack, right? And in that drum rack, you can drag anything you want because it's a drum rack. It's just samples. I'm going to go to like Ableton stock samples. No. Yeah. And I'm going to search kick. I hope all of these yeah, Ableton. There we go. Now it's all Ableton. Cool. I'm just going to fucking grab some of these. I don't care. You can switch these out to whatever you want. I'm going to put them here, right? And now to select, like, it's automatically always going to pick, like, the same one, basically. Because this Midi output that we have is just going to the same thing every time. Which you could actually should move the melodic steps outside of the new group. So that it is... No, goddamn it, not there. Right here. I guess it doesn't actually. Oh yeah, it does. Of course it does. What am I saying? I'm a buffoon. Here you go. Okay, so now it's like it's always gonna pick the same one. This is like the tone it is, right? So that's not good. So like you can take a MIDI effect, and it's called pitch, and you can put the pitch here on the drum rack. And so now, if you like move that around, it's new top ends. But they're of course like really fucking like low endy, so I'm just gonna add an EQ8 after the drum rack. I'm just gonna cut all the lows out, so this is just a top end sheen in our... No audio is coming through, and why would that be? did I fuck something up? Did I zig when I should have zagged? I sure did. I'm one level in. Too many. This whole... There we go. And you can get, I mean, however crazy you want to get with that is up to you. Like, however much of the bottom and middle you want to cut out. I like cutting most of it out. I just want it kind of to be a character thing. And then from there, if you want to add audio effects to that and, like, make it saturated and add a knob for, like, how much saturated... Actually, the knob would have to be here. And then you can put it here from there. You know, you can do all that. But here, what I'm going to do here is just assign a map this here to here. And I'm going to color it something cool so I can find it. And you should label it. I'm not going to because I'm just speeding through this. Cool. And so now you just have to do a little brain work. Like, if it's at 0, it lands you here. So, like, just what is the one where it gets you down to the final one? Minus 49. And then, I guess minus 49 will just default to being, you know, what is it? Minus 37, and then all the way up to, oh, that's 26. So 37 to 26 is the range. So minus 37 to plus 26 is going to make sure that every time you click random, it lands on one of them. And if you want to turn that off, you just like click this guy. So now when you know, you move this around, you get a different one. And if you want to map this to be a randomized thing, you can do that now by clicking map and clicking this and mapping it to here. And now it will be sweet. Okay, I'm calling that done. That's kicks done. Okay, hi-hat's going to be real similar, so we're going to create another chain. We're done with kicks. It is what it is. It's above me now. We're going to... What did I do for hats? You could do hats the same way with an operator or with a synthesis type thing and make like a synthesized infinite hat concept if that's what you want to do. In fact, yeah, why fuck it. Let's do it. We'll do that for the open hats. So we're going to name this an open hat. Open hat. Great. We're just going to drag in a hi-hat device. And we're just going to put these parameters on these macros. That's going to be great. I guess real quick, let's color these the same thing so we know that like these are all kicks, and I guess they should label them. And okay, all right, I'll label them. Jesus Christ, I can hear you all bitching. Kick, decay, kick, pitch, and then this is kick, top, sample. No, kick top, topper. Just call it that. Cool. Sweet. Different kicks all the time. What the hell? That one was tight. I think that was the sound of my processor breaking. Cool. So we have an open hat now. What are we going to do? We're going to go to max for live. We're going to get this melodic steps again. We're going to drag it here. And we're going to do that thing that I said earlier. We're going to make an open hi-hat. So just X all these out. You don't need them. Make sure this one's at 4. You can just reduce all these to 2 if it's an eyesore for you. For me, it is. Just turn these steps all down. Is it this one? There you go. Hey, do it every time. Oh, you know, this is something I've noticed, actually. This is not the Midi not triggering every time. It's that this thing doesn't trigger every time. And that might have been why I didn't do it this way in the first place. So, fuck this device. These devices are slightly broken. Ableton, take note. Update those. There's something wrong with them. They don't trigger reliably. I'm going to use instead just a good old operator. I guess it's good for some of you to learn this anyway. I know some of you out there don't know how to do this or how this works. I'm going to build exactly what the DS hat thing is anyway. Get a white noise. blah, blah, blah. Follow along with me here. Frequency, high pass. And you can vary like any number of these things. You might want to use white noise only looped noise rather, only because you get control of pitch, which can do a lot of different tones. You can get a lot of that going on. So let's do that, I guess. That's pretty cool. And you can add effects and stuff, and put the effects on there and things, and that'll be cool too. Let's do that. Let's do a chorus. Let's give that a little stank. Like, that's crazy. It's way too much. Cool. So we will map the frequency to this guy, and we'll set the range that I do not want it to be 10 hertz. I'll say no higher than maybe 1,000 and no lower than 286. Rough guesstimate. Let's try that. Might be too low a range. Let's go to 2,000 and like 180. See what that does. Kind of like that. Alright, we'll do that. That's kind of freaky. And then, what else? We can, like, slightly modify this filter here. But again, I'm a broken record, not infinite range. So nothing lower than 1,500, 1,600, and then, well, maximum shouldn't really go higher than, like, 6 or so. They're all the exact same length, so let's also map the decay of this guy. Get that map out real quick to see how we should play this. Doesn't really sound like an upbeat unless you're doing at least 500, so we'll say that. We'll say we're going to map it to the decay. We'll map the minimum 500. We'll make the maximum like not a full second. Maybe like somewhere there. And then to give it a little bite, I'm going to throw like a saturator on there, and we're done with the mappings for that. That's the gist. Like, are you guys getting the gist? I hope you're getting the gist. You can do whatever you want when you build your own, or download it from Gumroad and then crack it open and mess around with it and modify it and make it into whatever you want. But I'm going to saturate the hell out of it. Love this new saturator, by the way, named 12. So good. Props to Ableton. There we go, that's the one. I also sometimes throw a roar on here. Roar is also awesome. It's very cool. Let's just... Right, cool. So we're getting cool different tones. Whoa, hey, there you go. And already you can hear, like, with just these very basic differences that you're getting pretty different vibes, like, with each randomization. And what's cool is, like, you can go in and tweak as you want. Like, you don't have to. You're not a slave to the random. Like, you can dial stuff in if you want to. And you can go in and go as... You can close all these macros and just go in and do this. It's just a good way to have a workflow going. Okay, we're done with the upbeat hi-hat. Okay, we're doing the hi-hat pattern now. Calling this some hi-hat. Hi-hat. Okay. I don't want to work that hard. I'm just going to put the drum rack in. I'm going to show you how to do this. It's the same exact pitch thing we did for the kick toppers. It's just going to be that's the whole layer. This is the simplest way to do this. You could build the entire kit without any of the instruments and just do samples, and it would work fine. Work absolutely fine if you're not like a synthesis person. So here we go. We're going to put a drum rack in. Great. We're going to go to samples, Ableton only. We're going to put in the word hi-hat. Not open, close. In fact, we're only going to do the word close, right? If I could, how do I not stop the recording? There we go. Beautiful. Great. Wonderful. I don't care. I don't care about any of you people stealing my life's work here. The only reason I know how to do this is because I spent hours and hours and hours on Ableton since it was Ableton 7. And you guys are just all profiteering off of my blood, sweat, and tears. I don't give a fuck what these samples are. Probably sound great. Ableton samples sound great. You don't need to buy anything. I learned that way too late. I learned that like halfway through Ableton 11. I was like, damn, you really don't need to buy shit, actually. And I wish I'd learned sooner. Okay, you have a bunch of samples. You have a 128 going on. So now the hi-hat, here's what you're going to do. You are going to Midi. This is a dirty trick. If you don't know this trick, it's classic and good for you. You're going to learn. Actually, you should know this trick because I just showed it to you, but if you're slow, check it out. So now we're going to go to the max for line. We're going to do melodic steps again. See the temperature of the room here? Okay. Melodic steps rocks. Oh my god, this is so going to crash halfway through, and I'm not remaking it, so if this crashes, you're never seeing it. So what I like to do here is do absolutely these two need to be in there, but then this one's like kind of a half check. This is my least favorite beat in a 4-beat. I feel like it's the least groovy, so I give it about half chance. But that's a little too fast for me, so I play around with these playbacks. Actually, you know what? I'm kind of liking it right now. Kind of digging it. Forget everything I just said. You can add chants to these. I feel like it's cool if it's kind of not perfectly dialed in all the time. Sounds cool. If you want to give this a little bit of this guy a little bit of velocity difference, you can just go into here and go fixed random and put this on 64. And now it's completely random. That's of course way too much randomness, so just dial it kind of. There's also a velocity randomness in here, but I don't like it. It's too unpredictable. This one's random in a more predictable way, if that makes sense. It doesn't. I'm just talking to talk. I'm also going to throw a saturator on here because I like it. Alright. And again, you can map that saturator if you want to like have control of it on the macro later or whatever. I'm just going to make it a little beefier in the mix. After all these years, I still really don't know like what this means. What are these curves talking about? I don't know. What is this representing? This graphic? No clue. Doesn't matter. Okay, cool. So now I think you're getting where we're going. We're going to map this pitch knob to here. I hope you're getting where we're going. And we're going to do the same thing we did where we're going to figure out like what's the range we need. So like if we go minus 37 again, for some reason it seems to be a common theme. Some kind of default value or something. 7 to plus 65. Okay. Cool. So it's going to be minus 37 to 65. Might behoove you to put in some mix controls because some of these are going to come in real hot. You could just like smash everything into a limiter and make sure everything comes through at the same volume every time. That's not a horrible idea, especially if this is just an idea generator and you're not trying to generate like finished tracks. Ooh, that's fun. This thing would be great for just like techno. You could just stop here and just like go play fucking Treasure Berlin. This is your Berghain set right here. Okay, cool. What else do I even have over here? I already forget what like I did. Oh, perks. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's dope. Okay. I've already used so many more macros than I used last time. We're gonna have to truncate some stuff. Okay, but that's the fun of these types of things. You can like just, you know, you can make it different every time. Once you learn how to do this basic thing that I'm doing, like you can just make whatever. Really good for pumping ideas out. The more generic the genre, the more like it's got a really locked in form and sound, the easier it is to make these. Alright, I'm gonna throw a limiter on here because we're really fucking up the program. I don't like seeing all this red. Okay. Dope. And also I'm just gonna turn the fucker down if I'm honest. Getting a little grating for me. Hope you guys don't hate that. Hope this is all working for you. Okay, perk. We're gonna do similar to what we've been doing. I'm gonna take a drum rack, but we're gonna do a arpeggiator on it and do some MIDI fuckery here. So let's get a drum rack. Where's drum rack? Here it is. They always move everything on me. I know they just try to fuck with me. Okay, we're going to go to the samples again. We're going to make sure Ableton's selected. We're going to search the term perk. I had really good ones for this, so it kept sounding dope. It was from an old Vengeance sound pack called Minimal House or something like that. Those perks are legendary and awesome. I do not know what these are. So what's coming with everything, I don't know what it is. Sorry about it. Oh shit, did I do too many? Okay, well, thankfully they'll... Like, really sorry about whatever this is. Come on, load them. Alright, great. So now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add an arpeggiator. What I'm going to do, I guess, first is trigger the note, and I'm going to show you how to make sure you can trigger the note. Melodic steps is going to go on this, and you might be thinking, like, but it's only going to do one note at a time. Isn't that what it does? It only does one note, and it does it really quick. How are you going to arpeggiate that, Mark? Well, that's a good question, and you're paying attention, and I like that. We're going to lower all these. I don't care about any of these. You might know, because I might have spoiled it earlier. I'm just going to do one note, but I'm just going to play with this so that it just triggers one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. And you're like, but how is that going to trigger anything? Because it ends so soon. Shut up. Shut your mouth. The note length device. You're going to make the note length device be long. There you go. now it's holding that MIDI note, even though you can't hear it because the sample ends. The MIDI hasn't ended for a minute. Now you're going to put the arpeggiator after that, and that'll be what arpeggiates. And hopefully, I don't have egg on my face when this clicks in. Be cool. Great. Great. So now you can do, this is what I'm going to be automating or changing, I guess, with the randomizing is the word, Jesus Christ. I'm going to be changing this. This means that it can move one octave like one time. This means it can move one octave 2 times. And if you look over here at the little animation, you can see that. So if this means it can move like 3 notes 2 times, right? So you're getting all these different, if you move this, it can move 3 times, right? At the rates, and they can change. On my one I showed in the demo, I had all 3 of these hooked up to macros. It's going to take up too many macros, so I'm not doing that. I'm going to leave this on eighths. I'm not going to do the rate. I'm just going to do the distance and steps. Oh, damn, and the pitch. Shoot. Okay, I'm not going to do the distance. I'm going to do the pitch and the steps. So we're going to have another pitch thing that determines where it starts, and the steps is just going to determine like how far away, but it's always going to do distance of 3. That works for me, so I can only use 2 macro notes on this one. But you can do whatever you want when you make it at home. Hopefully you're following along right now. Keep up. How long is this right now? I don't know. I'm not keeping track. However long it is. I'm not cutting out anything. You can't make me. Okay, cool. That's kind of fine. Let's see how that sounds. Kind of ass, if I'm honest. I think the whole thing needs to be like turned off and turned back on. This thing doesn't sync very well. There you go. Oh, now it's fire. Holy shit. Oh my god. Yeah, I love that. That's my jam. Okay, so we're gonna map the steps to here, and we're gonna map the distance to here. And I don't think you have to affect it if you do a whole 128, because there's no option that won't trigger something. Man, that sounds fucking horrible. You know what I'm going to do because that sounds horrible? I'm going to do another thing. Here's another great trick. The absolute best sidechain is not a sidechain at all. When you're doing 4-on-the-floor music, at least. When you're doing like reliable, like I know exactly where the kick's going to be music, the best one is AutoPan. I have a preset that I made for me, and I'm giving it to you. So extract that out and save that for yourself, because it's pretty. So it's just ducking the perks out wherever there's kick by setting the offset to nothing, setting the phase to nothing, and inverting and affecting the shape on a sawtooth and making the rate 1/4. You can mess with that later if you want. But it's just going to make sure the perk isn't getting in the way of the kick, and it's adding some like forced groove, because it's just going to only exist in the off space, you know? And then I guess we will also make that we'll give that a fighting chance of being heard and put a little glue compressor before that to give it a little volume boost, and then be sidechained after the volume boost. So, you know, it has a little bit of something on it. And you can add effects here and do reverb. Why not? Why not throw a little verb on there? Fine. But I'm putting it before the sidechain. I want everything before the sidechain, basically. I want that whole layered thing behind the kick drum. Get some really cool metallic sounds if you turn the size really low. I really like it. It sounds real machiney. Okay, let's play play around. Oh, there you go. See, now we're starting to get like true grooves with some character that are really, really interesting. What else did I have? Snare, right. Okay, cool. So let's do a snare. It's just going to be exactly like this guy where we're just doing samples and picking with the pitch. Like, that's it. I'm not working much harder on this, guys. I'm petering out here. I'm getting pretty tired, especially, goddamn, we're going to have to do all that fucking bass shit. God, it took so fucking long. That's the lion's share of this, good God. I just want to go eat more Newman's Own frozen meatball pizza, man. That shit was so good. I can't wait to have more of that after this. I wish I didn't know any of you. Clap. Okay. So clap. Why does it already have a drum rack in there? Did I do that? What? Did I just move the drum rack from... No. Did I? No. Why is there a drum rack in there? Did I already do that? What? Did I move it from somewhere else? Okay, I have dementia. I'll watch back the minutes. I don't remember dragging that in there. Alright. Cool. Samples. Make sure they're made by Ableton so I'm not like violating copyright. And I'm going to search the word clap. I don't care what these are. I'm not listening to them. I don't care about any of you. Blah, 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 blah. As we've established. Cool. That's not enough. I'll get more. Damn, maybe I want the hi-hats to sidechain a little bit too. I think I do. Nah, I don't. What I just did there, that's called creating right there. That's it. That's the whole thing. It's just like, do I want to do this? No. That's all. That's all it is. That's all music making is. People think it's so much deeper than that, but it really isn't. That's the creative process in a nutshell. There. If you can do that, you can do anything. Oh my God, my computer really does not like recording video and recording audio and doing all this shit at the same time. It's really starting to wig out. I've got to get through this baseline part and then get the fuck out of here. Okay, we have a drum wrap with claps. It's right here. Oh, let me color code these real quick for all you troglodytes that can't keep up on and layer them. Oh God, what is this? The open hat. This is the open hat frequency. Oh, let's say pitch. Pitch. And this is the open hat filter. Open hat filter. Cool. This is the open hat decay. We'll make these purple, I guess. And then this is the hi-hat pitch. The hi-hat selector, I guess I'm going to call it. It's not pitch to you. To the user, it's not pitch. Hi-hat selector. And this is the... I'll make that its own special color. And then this is the perk. I'll call this like... again, it's just so hard to talk about what this is. I'm still going to call this like perk spice and like perk flavor because like how am I supposed to disseminate what these things are in 15 characters? I don't know. You guys saw how it was made. Name it whatever the fuck you want. Ooh, I love that. Okay, so we got the clap. We all got the clap, boys. Sorry, my bad. Should have gotten tested. Alright, we're going to do the pitch thing so that we can have a pitch selector, and we're going to have to put in the melodic steps again so that it my god, every time I drag something in now, it's starting to cave. It doesn't like it. Oh man, I gotta give it breaks. You gotta just listen to my voice for a little bit. Good god. Okay, melodic steps. We're doing the thing. Blah 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 blah. Oh my god. So this is a nightmare. This is my main production computer too. Had it since 2015. It's running fucking Windows 11. Okay. So we want to clap, so it's going to be like, it's got to be 8. And it's got to be just the, come on. There you go. So you make it 8 steps here and only do the 5th one, and that's the clap. Unless you want your clap to be somewhere else, in which case move it. And if you want there to be some chance that there's a little bit like at the like this beat here. Sure, keep that, but I don't, because that's not very cyberpunky. Okay, we gotta map the pitch to be somewhere. Pitch, go here. And I don't think yeah, I guess I do. We'll just make it from minus 36 seems to be what it's like defaulting to for some reason. And the top end, I don't know, fucking 90. I don't care. Okay. Again, did it again. Hit spacebar when I should have clicked this thing. Keeping it in. Fuck you. Okay, cool. Man, I warned you it's going to sound worse than the one I had, because I had good samples, and I took a lot longer on it than this. They were kind of speed running this. So you can see, you're seeing a lot of the seams of this process. This sounds like ass mostly. But if you work on it and you put good samples in and you work on the effects and you add more things to these racks and you also add more within these, you start grouping within groups and like adding knobs in there and like really giving a shit, it's good. But like this one is not going to sound good. But it would help if this clap was fucking audible. So let's collapse this and collapse this and collapse this and put a little bit of a satch on there. A little bring it home satchmo. Load, holy shit. Oh, it hates it. And on this other one, I like had the verb all mapped out, and so I could sometimes like map the verb. Not doing that here. We need all 6 of these for bass, so I'm keeping that. And so now, the moment you've all been waiting for, we're gonna make the bass. I'm turning this off. This is gonna be so processor heavy to make this bass layer. Okay, this is the one part where you need something that's not native to Ableton. I'll put a link to it. It's called Sting 2022. It's made by IFTA. It is like one of the best like Max for Live devices ever made, in my opinion, and it's so ubiquitous at this point, and it's used by everybody, and everybody loves it, and it's like awesome, and I love it, and I love that guy, and I wish he didn't just give it away on the Mac store, because I would pay for it, like just to say thank you. Its original intent was to make Acid 303 bass lines, but it can make, I mean, now he's iterated on it so many times that it can make way more than that. You could use any sequencer here. I'm using this one because it works really well for this, but like you could use melodic steps here as the sequencer. You could use your sequencer of choice. I think Virtual Riot, on the comment on the demo, shout out Virtual Riot, big fan, love you, mentioned you can use arpeggiator. You can do he said there's some kind of like arpeggiator method. I don't know anything about that, but I'm sure he's got a video on it. He's got a million videos. So however you want to generate like the MIDI that's happening is cool. This is how I do it. I'll include a link to this device. You should just have this anyway. It's awesome. You should use this on other stuff. So this one's principal virtue is that it generates like pretty musical bass lines. Instead of doing, full disclosure on this one, I did a rack of wavetables. I'm going to show you what I did last time. I literally, I split them all by, I did velocity, and I made them all like distribute ranges equally by velocity. And then I had, instead of like selecting samples with a pitch, I was selecting instruments from a chain with the velocity knob. This is what was mapped, and that was what was randomized. That's the bass selector. So same exact concept as using pitch to select a drum rack instrument. You're just using velocity to pick an instrument rack instrument, like a chain. And I had like 1,000 wavetables in here. I literally think if I try to do that right now while I'm recording, it's going to crash my computer. And I mentioned before, I'm not re-recording this. So I'm just going to do like one instrument and try to parameter the fuck out of it so that it's like always slightly useful. But you can do it this way. But that's just, that kind of sucks. Okay, I'll do like way less. I'll do like 8. You're only getting 8 bass sounds out of this, you cretins. And I'll make sure that they're 8 decent ones. Okay, this one is like 30 something, and it's a lot. It's not going to want to do that right now. Okay, so we're going to take an instrument rack here, and we're going to make some chains here. First chain we're going to make is going to be, we're going to go to wavetable. I'm looking for the presets that do not have the little line, because that means, if you don't know, that means it is a rack in itself, and it might come prepackaged with like all kinds of shit. It's definitely come prepackaged with like assigned knobs. It might come with effects. It might come with multiple instances. Like, not doing that right now. So these, I'm going to go to bass. These ones that are single, that's what I'm doing. I just want a wavetable in there. It's already processor intensive enough as it is. Not trying to blow up a computer or lose this thing. Okay. Great. Don't know what any of these sound like. Don't care. Fuck you. Cool. Great. These are all going to be real alphabetical like. Not that one. No, Jesus Christ. Some of these are out of pocket. Some of these I just can't imagine what the use case for it is. Like, it's cool sounding, like just on a basic level, cool. Like you hit the button and you're like, that's cool, I guess. But I can't imagine a musical context where like that is at all useful. Like that one's useful. I don't know. They're a lot smarter than me over there. They're DSP magicians over there. So who am I? But okay, cool. Calculated bass. Yeah, great. These are all great. The more it's just like kind of a held wave, the better, honestly, because it's gonna work better in the most contexts. And the whole name of the game here is like ubiquity. That's great. You could also do this with like long held bass note samples in a bunch of simplers. That would work. And put all the simplers in chains here. That would be fine. Yeah, why not? Okay, how many is this? How many have I done? I said I would do 8. And they're taking progressively longer and longer to add in because the computer has an Intel like Pentium 4-core processor or some shit from 2015. Pay for this on the Gumroad so I can get a better computer. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hey, look at that, on the money. Okay, so now what you're going to want to do... That's what this thing does, which is fucking tight. This thing rules. When you click the little happy face, it'll generate you a new pattern. And it'll generate it according to a bunch of stuff. So it has all these little algorithms. This one's called random. and it's straight up random. Density is how many notes are happening in any given measure. So low density means it's like few notes. High density means it's a lot of notes. Length is how long the loop is. So if you do 16 or 8 or 4, it's going to be like a normal, 4/4 loop. But if you do like an off number, it's going to loop like asynchronously. It's going to do like a mathy thing. So if you turn this to like 7. Here it's like not an 8th, but if you put it to 8, now it's suddenly it's like now it's Berghain again. But if you put it to 7, it's like doing a mathy thing. Okay, that's the gist of how this thing works. Swing sucks. Don't use it. Gate, don't touch it. The rate I've found leaving it at 16 works the best. Some of the notes are a little too short for my taste, so I did go into a MIDI effect and just add a little bit longer note via oh god, it's running all of these. What was I thinking? So yeah, so we need that to not be happening. So here's what you're going to do. I only want one thing to be happening at a time. So I'm going to go to velocity. It puts out everything at the exact same velocity, so you don't have to worry about variances in velocity. Velocity, there's all these velocity ranges, distribute ranges equally. That means if I were to play this on a keyboard, this is a great way to make complextro, by the way. Just a hot tip. If I were to play this on a regular keyboard, if I hit the key really lightly, it would play like these sounds. And if I hit it really hard, it would play these sounds. But I could play like a melodic run, and it would be swapping dynamically back and forth between these sounds based on how hard I hit the key. That's not what I want to do right now, but it's something I could do. I'm going to just do a velocity effect right here. I'm going to do a couple of things to make a selector the exact same way we made a pitch selector to change the hi-hat sound. It's the exact same thing. It's just doing it a different way. I'm going to click fixed, and that's it. This is now our selector. So wherever it lands, that's now only doing one exact number, and that exact number lands on one of these blocks, and that one block correlates to one sound, and so that's the sound. So we're going to, first things first, just map that. Oh, God, I don't want to do this anymore, man. You guys, really, Jesus, I don't want to be here. This is, YouTubers have all the respect for me. This is exhausting. Okay, so it's only going to be one note at a time. Turn this guy back on. Sweet. So now it's starting to sound like something. And even sort of the bad percussion loops are kind of saved by like an okay bass line. Okay, so I'm going to map some stuff real quick. I'm going to map the length of the thing to here. I'm going to map the density of the thing to here. I'm going to map what algorithm it is to here. Cool. And then what else? For now, that'll be it. I've only got 2 more left, so let's see what we got with just that. Cool. Let's see what we've got. Oh yeah, one more thing. So kind of weird with this thing. You have to change the loop by clicking this guy, but like when you try here, I'll show you. I'll just show you. It's interesting. When like you click him and it changes the loop. But when you try to map that, like it is mappable. I'm going to map it to the density knob because when it seems like you have to hit a certain, like it's not a fixed number. It's like every time you cross from something under 64 to over 64, it triggers it. And I've found that if you just hit random a couple times, like, it will trigger it. And if it doesn't quite trigger this, these changing will change it enough that you think it changed, if that makes sense. These are technically all affecting the same loop. It's when this is clicked that it's truly a fully different loop. And I just feel like density is a good place to pop that. You could put that anywhere. You could map it to any of these. You can map this to its own macro, but like a bunch of times that you click random, it's not going to do anything. It has to cross from a lower value to a value above 64, and that's when it will trigger. Like I don't really get that, but it is what it is. So just know that. Map this to just one of these three and have that be the thing. Cool. So this is starting to be something. It's starting to sound like something. Oh yeah, here's a thing. So here's a good one. Here's a good thing. This is outputting some kind of note range. I don't know what its default is, but on some of these basses it sounds good, but on some of them it's like way too low for how they're made. So now we'll do a pitch that's just truly the pitch. And we'll also slap a scale on there. So let's do that. Let's make this bass not sound like ass. So this is just putting out whatever. I don't know what it is. Come on, shut up. I don't know what like scale this is or whatever, but I'm just gonna we're gonna bind it to, let's say, D Phrygian. D Phrygian rocks. It's pretty good. We're gonna change this root to D, and that's gonna give us a real gnarly bass line. Nice. You can change that to be whatever. If you want it to be like happy hardcore, put it in a major key. Let's just do that if you want. Let's see what that sounds like. Oh god, the Jenga bus is coming, guys. Jesus Christ. It's 1995. I prefer darker shit because I'm emotionally complex. Okay, cool. That's all happening. So what should I do here? Oh yeah, and then a pitch. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna have a pitch, and then I think the last thing we should do is like a dirt knob, and we'll call this thing done. Just to show that effects can be part of this. So, Jesus Christ, okay. There we go, that's great. Hello? It kind of crashed on me for a second. There we go. Great, don't know what's up with that. So the pitch knob is gonna go, I guess, here. And we'll just set it as a default at like plus 12, because it seems like these are, in general, too low more than they're too high. And I want them to be audible. And so what you can do, this is an interesting hot tip. Here you go. Here's a little learning moment. You can map it to here. You might think, but I don't want that. Randomize every time. It's going to sound all wonky. It's going to throw off the key. It's going to be all fucked up. And you are correct. You're absolutely right. Which is why you can exclude macro from randomization. And now, when you click random, everything will change except for this one. The density is too low. I don't like the density getting that low. I feel like it's cool when the density gets like not much lower than 10. So I'm gonna go to the density knob on the map, and I'm gonna bring the minimum up to like 10. So it's not gonna be able to get much lower than that. And the length also, like, I feel like when it gets to 1, that sucks. So I'm not gonna let it get lower than 8. It can do all the mathy shit between 16 and 8, but under 8, it's just, I don't know. It's not for me. It's not for this. It's not for Cyberpunk, which is the guiding light of this whole thing. So yeah, this map page is actually really important. If you're getting really ass results, dial it in. I think this clap is all fucked up. What is that? Is that just one of the perk? Oh yeah, it's just the perk loop sucks. Okay. Yeah, these are not as good as mine were because I used good samples and good instruments and took my time. But it's certainly doing the thing. It is making beats for you. You take time with it and you can get good results. And so if you do this and you're like, that's a little too low, you can like just play with the pitch here. It will always be locked to D. No, it won't, because I put it in the wrong place. So that's a smart thing. If you want, while you're messing around with the pitch, for it to not fuck with the scale, you gotta put the pitch way back here. And now when you mess with the pitch, it'll still be in D Phrygian, and you won't like mess with the key. And sometimes that's all it takes. Sometimes you got a really good loop and you just got to move it around a little and it's like, cool. Because you're kind of messing with the mode. If you don't know what modes are, Google it. It's really important. Okay, and now for this one, we're just going to add a little dirt with like roar and call it a night, man. It's almost 9 o'clock here right now. I'm done. I'm done helping y'all out. Freeloaders. Y'all better throw me a buck or two on Gumroad, I swear to God. Alright, let's do a roar. Let's put a roar on there. It's kind of sick. It's growing on me. And, this thing has so much. I've yet to even fully dive in at all. Oh, yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that's cool. Cool. So we'll make that what's randomized. We will map the rectifier shape to this guy. So not only is the instrument changing, but it's also randomizing what kind of, distortion you're getting on the top end of the whole thing, which is cool. Which is, badass. Hell yeah. Oh my god. Okay, actually some of these are fire. So you're still getting some fire every so often. These perks need to be dialed in. Go change the perk samples to ones you like. Dude, these suck ass. Ooh, never mind. Some of them are cool. Take a lot longer on the mixing and the effects and stuff like that, and you'll be good. You'll be golden. I guess let's do that right now. Let's do a quick and dirty mix. So I'll do that for you. Why not? -6. Open hats are gonna be -10. This is all just the Jan Cook numbers. So if you don't know Jan Cook, go check him out. This is gonna be -10 as well. Perks are at -8. Clap is at -8, I think, and bass is at -4. No, this is -6, and the kick was -4 because the kick is king. Kick is king. And then on that whole thing, we'll just put that here and then turn it back on. Oh, that sounds bad. Seems like that fucked everything up, actually. Why is the bass inaudible now? I think Sting is fucked up. It seems like the second I changed the mixing on this, it all fell apart. What on earth? Alright, the syncing is off somewhere. I think this just needs a rest. Why is Sting so fucked up now? Sting, do MIDI. Why are you not doing MIDI? Oh, it's just like super low. Maybe it's just crashing. Maybe my computer's just crashing. It can't handle anything. That's not working. Did I solo something where I shouldn't have soloed something? That's too low. Or we just need to saturate more. So that's a little more. Oh, this open hi-hat also, let's put some wideness on that too. That's a pretty low cost effect. That's pretty good. Let's just give that a little something in this mix. Let's get it. So that just separates a little bit. Oh, and then the bass, I'm going to want it to have a sidechain-ish thing going on also. Okay. Now I'm just like fine-tuning, which I said I wasn't going to do, but I can't let the product be this bad. I'm sort of the Walter White of Ableton racks. It's just I take too much pride in my product. Why is this just straight up crashing though? This just like will not produce sound now. I'm assuming that's just because it's crashed. Let's do a stop test. No, I don't know. It's just not wanting to do bass sounds anymore. Did I break it? What did I do? Let's see. Let's expand everything. See what I did. It's doing MIDI. It's just not doing. It's not triggering an instrument for some reason. This instrument is here. Oh. That's annoying. Okay, some of them are going to have filters on that don't like music. There we go. Okay, we're so back. Except that open hi-hat is fucking awful. Yeah, I can't really live with that. That sucks. What do I need to do? I think that just needs... I think that minimum decay just needs to come down a little bit. Yeah, that's fine. Also, it's in the wrong place. Yeah, it's totally in the wrong place. It's been that way this whole time. How come you didn't tell me? None of you told me the open hi-hat was in the wrong place this entire time. Everything's grooving better. Oh my god. See that? Jesus Christ, guys. You let me really do that the whole time? Chat, where were you at? There's no chat. This is a pre-recorded video. Fuck all of you. Cool. This bass is too gnarly and it has too many variances in volume, which is why I did exactly what I did the last time, which is smash it into a limiter. So I'm going to do that for this too. It's going to be the same exact fucking volume no matter what, because I'm going to smash it. Oh yeah, you can play with his note length and get like carries and stuff. So playing with that can be different groups too. That bass sound sucks. Take that out when I get it in. All right, so I'm calling it, and that is. Did I not tell you it was gonna be like the shittier version? As advertised, it's the worst version, but I had to make it so that I'm not giving away a bunch of like paid samples on Gumroad. I think that's probably fucked up, right? Like I can't do that. I think. Right? Okay, let me fucking color and label all these and stuff. Where am I? Okay, what is this the pitch of? Jesus Christ. Where am I at? This is my clapper. Hold on. I gotta start it up again. Yeah, so this is clap selector. His bass selector. Density is a good word for that. I'll just put the word baseline in there. Let's call it baseline algorithm. Baseline, no, not baseline. That's not what I wanted. That's not a thing. Baseline algo. Is it? No. This was what? Oh, yeah, it's just literally a bass pitch, okay. See, I can't even remember what the shit is. It's really complicated. Bass pitch. And bass roar. Cool. Perks, we're gonna make fucking aquamarine. Nope, I'm colorblind. Nope. Nope, that's the clap. Red. Bass selector, we're gonna make neon green. Everything about the bass is neon green. Cool. Okay. Ooh, okay. See, like, this one, 1 and 10 are kind of fire. I feel like on my other one is like 1 and 3 were fire. So this one can still get you shit. You just gotta click this random button quite a bit. Yeah, see, like, okay. Alright. That's something. And these are just loops. Like, okay, that's legit. That's sick, honestly. Like, that could be... That's something. That's got legs. It's kind of boring. In the right context, that's something. That's German. Okay. Hate that bass line, but that... I like where the percussion's at. Something. Oh yeah, here we go. Okay. See, and that's the beauty of it. If you get a loop that's almost right, play with it. And then you got something. Oh, that sounds like the presets. That's fucking awesome. Okay. I don't feel too bad about putting this out in the world as something. And I don't feel too bad about asking you to give me $2 for it. But it is free. Because, you know, I love you all. Fuck all of you. Okay, cool. Thinking I'm going to call that done. So, hope you learned something. Hope you learned a few little tips and tricks. Hope you followed along, built your own. Hope you continue to build your own. Build something way cooler than this. Build something more like this that is like groups and groups and groups and has like all this extra shit going on. If I went through everything in this, it would take like a long ass time, and you know I'm not doing that. If somebody wants to pay me, like, email me. If you want to like pay me money to sit down and do like a 5-hour run through of what this thing is, because it took me 2 days to build this, I will do that, but I'm not doing that for free, because that sucks. But I will do what I just did for free, which is like the short and sweet version. And this, see, I mean, it's all the same stuff. It's just like a little more in depth, and there's some OTT stuff and like some stuff going on, some mixing things happening, you know, and I did different stuff, but it's like largely the same. You know, let's kick this one on, see how this one sounds. Oh, I turned it off. See, not even that much better, honestly. Okay, yeah, it is. Oh, my computer's about to die. Hold on. All right, I'm turning that fuck off. Jesus. Yeah, my computer can handle all this. Let's do a couple more. Hell yeah. Okay. Now, based on those few I just pumped out of the other one, I mean, this one might be better. I don't know what anything is anymore. Oh yeah, okay, as promised. I said I would tell you a way, if you ran out of knobs to do even more randomization, here it is. If you run out of knobs and you can't do it, or if you're doing some routing shit where you like want to connect a knob to something but like it won't let you, and you want it to be random, this isn't going to work for everything. expression control is your best friend. You put an expression control like anywhere, it can map to anything. It's like limitless. It has no like routing like limitations, and you set to random. And when you do a key press on your keyboard, it will select a random value. So you can go anywhere. And you can even do other tracks than the one that's on. Like it's truly limitless. So if I just want to go into here, like note length, or let's do one that has a group within a group. Where's there a group within a group? Okay, kick has a group within a group. So if I wanted to like change this one, and like I can't do it from out here, yes I could. If I wanted to change like something in here or something, you can map it to this. Just set it to remote and then map. And then when you hit, it's not going to work with the random button, but if you hit random and then hit a MIDI key, like any key, it will pick a random. And in fact, you could forego all of these knobs and just build an entire MIDI rack of 1 billion of these. And then instead of a random button, you just hit like any key on a MIDI controller or on your keyboard. You just like click a button and it smacks all of them into random. So you can build it that way too. I'm not showing you. Okay, I'm done. I gotta put this in fucking DaVinci Resolve and make this now, and then make a Gumroad account, I guess. I'm hoping that that's as easy as just like signing up and putting this up. Yeah. Closing thoughts. Big ups, Virtual Riot. Thanks for the words of encouragement. Hope you guys enjoy. Hope you make stuff. If you make anything cool with it, let me know. Shoot me an Instagram message or something being like, I made this with your rack, because I just like seeing that. I don't care if I get like credit or writing credit or any bullshit like that. I just like seeing what people have made. And, be well, and Merry Christmas and all of that. And fuck you all.